pressed by Heston Ham's artful engagement in stoneworks. He provides quality finish for residential and commercial properties. Carrie Maynard is widely sought after for his services in horticulture and floriculture. I am pleased to see a young entrepreneur is providing tent rental service known as Valley's Tent Rentals. And we could go on and on identifying other unsung heroes and heroines in business like Brown Sugar, Novella Frigate, KVK Enterprises, and G Squared Arts. But we need to encourage and support these businesses and others that will emerge and help them to continue to grow and prosper into significant and well-entrenched establishments. Those who know these businesses will be aware that these are new and emerging areas in which young people have shown boldness and entrepreneurship in coming forward, taking a chance, and on the face of it are seemingly doing well. This government pledges that we will support the micro-entrepreneurial endeavors of young people to realize the benefits of the Millennium Development Goals. Tonight we launch the Federal Youth Policy document, and Mr. Hanley is ready to do that. We as a government continue to give more budgetary support to the ministries implementing the policies and programs of the government geared towards the care, education, training, health, and development of our nation's youth. In 2009, over $110 million were allocated to these ministries: education, health, tourism, sports, culture, social, and community development and gender affairs. This figure of $110 million was 10% higher than the $100 million allocated in 2008. And we could also add the budget to security, which had increased significantly in 2009, having regard to the challenges which juvenile and young people's criminal engagement are having on the purveying of security services within the country. The truth is, this government will be unwavering and remains fully committed in our support for youth programs which will emanate from the Federal Youth Policy. This policy should provide a framework for sustained partnerships with our young people. There is, of course, a plethora of issues that are confronting us at this time. These are trying times the world over. Indeed, the world at large is attempting to deal with one of the deepest recessions since World War II. And while there are signs that the financial crisis has been checked and the global financial system is being stabilized, the economic crisis which it precipitated is still with us. It is disheartening when we hear the news of a 9.7% unemployment rate in the USA, which translates into 14.5 million persons being unemployed in an economic sense, that is, willing to work and able to work. Of course, it doesn't include those who are discouraged from looking for work and all other categories of people underemployed, etc. It is even more disheartening because the statistics for blacks in the USA is at 15%. Our kin and kin are likely to be in that category. The point then is that the long road is yet to be traveled on the path to fully reviving growth in the world's largest economy. The shadow of economic hardship and tough times was very much with us last year at the time of our national consultation. 1 year later, the reality remains that the economic times are daunting and capable hands are required more than ever before. It must be acknowledged that the external environment and happenings significantly determine the economic outcomes of small, open, resource-poor countries such as our own. We, however, are surviving reasonably well in a hostile economic climate that has dampened tourism revenue, diminished our remittance inflows, and slowed direct foreign investments. Our resilience and survivability are reflected at the level of the critical economic actors, be it at the level of the individual, business, or the government. So in a hard year, TDC reports one of its best ever annual profit. While Horsford's Caribbean, National Bank, and Lime have accomplished similar feats. The same can be said of the St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union, which returned its best ever surplus. This is the word it prefers to use instead of profit. The nation rejoices with the success of all these businesses and others because successful entities keep people employed and they create additional jobs. These entities also pay a significant portion of their profits into the government's treasury, thereby allowing the government to satisfy the people's needs and wants. I fervently believe that the ability of the government to carry out its policies, programs, and projects is inextricably intertwined with the prosperity of the private sector. So I can assure the private sector that the government will work with you to realize even higher profits. In this vein, then, I want to commend all CEOs of business entities on their successes so far. Could we give them all a round of applause? I want to further laud entities like TDC, SL Horsford, Lime, National Bank, Caribbean for paying their taxes to the Inland Revenue Department. I'm told they do so in a timely manner. That deserves another round of applause. I also want to commend the staff of the Inland Revenue Department on the success of its collaboration with the private citizens and other entities in the collection of over 40 different imposts which are payable to the government. Indeed, I ask that you applaud the efforts of all our revenue centers. Could we give them all, customs, inland revenue, electricity, water, etc., a round of applause. Obviously, the government is a critical economic actor in a small economy such as ours. And I am certain that you want to know how it is faring. In this regard, I have some good news to share with you. I am especially delighted to say that we have had one of the best 6 months on record. The recurrent account for the period January to June 2009 shows a surplus of $31 million. This was achieved by a recurrent revenue flow of $232.6 million as against a recurrent expenditure of $201.6 million. The recurrent revenue for the first half of 2009 increased by about 3% over the same period in 2008, while the recurrent expenditure for January to June was $11 million or 5.3% less than the $213 million spent over the same period in 2008. Yesterday I was in Nevis at their consultation, and their revenues were going in a completely opposite direction, of course largely due to the closure of the Four Seasons. I think they had about a 16% fall off in their recurrent revenues. Here we are reporting an increase, and this is more or less an exceptional case for many countries within the region and certainly within the OECS. The capital account realized a small surplus of $200,000 for the first 6 months of 2009. This compared